Hi, Darren. Hi, Darren.
Chair, it's Mashile. Good morning.
Hi. How's it?
Good in yourself, Chair.
And I can see that my picture doesn't look great. I'll
Yeah,
feel the light
yes.
behind. The
The
light
light
behind.
behind, yes. Yeah.
It's fine. But Honorable Price will be chairing the session.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right.
Good morning, everybody on the platform.
Morning, Chair.
Good morning, Honorable Chairperson.
Morning, Chair.
Morning.
Morning, Chair.
Hi. Matafa.
Recording in progress.
Good morning, honorable members. And good morning
Chair.
and welcome you in this meeting. Honorable Sheikh, how are you?
Good morning, well, sir. Well, and you?
Not fine. Members, my time is 9 o'clock. I think we must start with our meeting. In fact, if my things go well, we only have one presentation, which will be done by Salga, that will present before this committee. But then let me take this opportunity and welcome you all. This is our last session of the division of revenue bill in the sixth term. So we will receive the presentation from the Salga. But before that, let me check with Mr. Mabani. Are there any apologies that we received?
Yes, good morning, Chair. We received an apology from Honorable Nkangwini. She's held up in one of the business of Parliament. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. No, thank you very much for those apologies. I'm sure the House accept those apologies. And also let me indicate that the chair is not feeling well. Therefore, I'll be assisting him to chair the meeting, but he is around connected. Hopefully members do not have any qualm about that. So on the agenda, honorable members, Darren, I'm not sure who's representing Salga. If we can, so that we call in a representative from the executive of Salga.
Good morning,
to make a presentation in as far as, sorry?
Good morning, Mr. Kaiso. It's Councillor Selina Mumake.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome, Councillor Selina. Welcome and your team. What we're going to do, we're going to give you sufficient time to make your presentation before this committee to consider in as far as the division of revenue bill is concerned, because we know SALGA is playing a very important role in as far as, ensuring that our local municipalities are doing well. So we won't pass this division of revenue bill without having consulted SALGA. So we're going to give you this opportunity together with your team. Let me check. Maybe I should give you 40 minutes to make your presentation after we have introduced your team. 40 minutes, it's yours. And then what you do, you then make your own arrangement who's going to present at what stage if you have chosen to do so. But then after you have made your presentation, I'll take over the meeting again. So at this stage, let me call you Councillor Selina and greet this committee and proceed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. As you have indicated that Councillor Buthelezi is not feeling well, let me start by greeting him in absentia and hope that he gets better. And not forgetting to greet all the honorable members of the standing committee. Yes, I am Councillor Selina Mumakwe. I will be representing the chairperson of the Municipal Finance and member of the SALGA NEC. We understand that SALGA made inputs to all the technical budget forum, and the budget forum had submitted comments on the 2023 medium-term budget policy statement, which is a precursor to the 2024 main budget and presentation of the division of revenue. Chairperson, one of the 5 top key comments I would just want to highlight, it's the allocation of local government, which is 177 billion. That has increased of 4.9 billion from the previous year, and this is still this still constitutes a share of 9.7% of nationally raised revenue. And we have organized a local government that still maintains that the local sphere of government is not adequately funded. And as municipalities are only able to cover 60% of their expenditures from their own generated revenues, this means that local government continues to be underfunded, Chairperson. And there is an observed net decrease of 384 million in the conditional grants to local government in the 2024-2025 financial year, which is unacceptable given the infrastructure backlogs that a municipality are having. So this is a disadvantage to us as municipalities. However, Chairperson, I have not introduced my team. Allow me to introduce Lerato Pasha, who will be taking us through the presentation, Honorable Chair. Lerato.
Good morning, Honorable Polisile, and to my chair, Me Mumakwe, to the honorable members of the committee and colleagues in the meeting. My name is Lerato Pasha. I'll be taking the honorable members through our presentation in terms of the comments that we have made on the division of revenue, Chair. Can you please move to slide 4? Our presentation will outline the macroeconomic outlook and the comments that we've made to the division of revenue bill and the recommendations that we are making to the committee. Chair, as SALGA, we acknowledge government's effort to attain this fiscal sustainability by narrowing the debt and stabilizing the debt, because we believe this will be of benefit to all the sectors of government. Chair, in terms of the 2024-2025, what the budget has outlined were the two fiscal risks, which was load shedding and the logistical challenges that the country is facing. We are then saying, Chair, that these risks have detrimental effects to municipalities and their ability to deliver services. Chair, I think in the medium-term budget, what we have shared was the cost of load shedding to municipal infrastructure and finances, and what and how much of an impact it has on local government. Chair, in terms of next slide, please. In terms of the recommendations that we are making for the macroeconomic fiscal policy, we are recommending, Chair, that any fiscal gains that government achieves throughout this financial year and even in the midterm year, it should be reallocated to local government to improve their financial sustainability, and also due to their inability to raise more revenue, as we know that municipalities are currently faced with revenue challenges, and also to bridge the gap in terms of the infrastructure backlogs that are currently being experienced by local government. We are also recommending that through the economic recovery strategies of government and investment into economic infrastructure, local government should be included in terms of accelerating infrastructure investment and rollouts. Chair, in terms of our comments on the budget and the DORA bill, we have noted the allocation as my chair has outlined, which is in slide 7. The 177 billion, which has been allocated to local government, which constitutes this 4.9 billion increase as compared to the previous financial year. We have noted that this continues to be a share of 9.7% from the fiscus. As we have outlined, Chair, currently local government can only cover 60% of its expenditures from its own revenue. So there is an existing gap and an underfunding of local government, because local government cannot meet what the white paper had anticipated of 90%. Chair, in terms of what we have observed is municipalities are currently experiencing revenue challenges due to a number of reasons, some internal factors and some external factors. And some of these external factors are the high unemployment rate within municipalities and the poverty levels, which have lowered. And we also observed that there is a resistance to pay and inability to pay for services from municipal consumers. There's also a plaguing challenge of illegal connections and theft, Chair. What we've also observed in terms of the budget is there has been a net decrease of 384 billion rand in terms of additional grants that have been allocated to local government. We therefore say that this is unacceptable, as we are currently having infrastructure backlogs within municipalities. And as we have also observed, is the MTEF budgeting continues to stagnate and also decline over a period of years to come. And the allocations for this MTEF, Chair, we are then saying that this ignores the realities that are currently on the ground in municipalities, as growing expenditures are outpacing the revenues that municipalities are generating, and also the transfers that we are receiving from the fiscus. Chair, in terms of what we are saying, it is important to note that the current allocations to individual municipalities in terms of the conditional grants, some did receive reductions or reprioritization of their grants, and some did receive increases to their allocations in terms of these conditional grants. And we've noted that some of these municipalities who their grants were reprioritized or reduced were not as a result of non-compliance in terms of their conditions of the grants or non-performance thereof. Chair, in terms of what the National Treasury have introduced of the smart meters, we do welcome and appreciate this allocation to local government, as we see that it will assist municipalities in the area of metering of water and electricity and also improving revenue collections. However, Chair, we would like to make these comments in terms of that smart meter grant. We are then recommending that National Treasury should ensure an end-to-end support in terms of rollout of this project to the municipalities that have been prioritized to receive the grant in the current financial year. We are also then proposing that there should be a business case readiness assessment of the municipality to be able to implement this grant and realize the intended outcomes of the grant. We are then also proposing that there should be a clear framework on how these municipalities will access this grant, as this is not currently in place, Chair. And we are also recommending that there should be a steering committee to support this development of the framework, and SALGA should form part of that steercom. We then also are supportive of the transversal agreement in terms of procurement of these smart meters and the system of prepaid that National Treasury has outlined. Chair, in terms of, we have outlined that the smart meter funding it comes from what was reprioritized from MIG and INEP. We see this as a problem, Chair, because shifting money from one area to another where the areas are both in need, we are saying this is counterproductive, and we're foreseeing that this is going to be troublesome for the affected municipalities, as they will not be able to continue implementing the projects that had already started. We are also recommending that although money is taken away from municipalities, the issue of not taking money away from the MIG recipients to fund the allocation, it's not equitable. And the criteria that was targeted for selected municipalities, it's only targeted for the debt relief approved municipalities who have applied for the debt relief. So it further excludes the ones who have not who have not applied and who have not been approved. Chair, if we can move to the next one without wasting any more time. In terms of the infrastructure service delivery reforms, we welcome these initiatives by government in terms of improving the quality of public investment. We are also, Chair, welcoming the establishment of the infrastructure implementation support agency that cuts across all the spheres of government. What we are then proposing, Chair, is consultation of the organized local government on all municipal legislative changes, as well as the consistent impact assessment on the legislation to achieve the intended outcomes, Chair. In terms of the review of the local government fiscal framework, we support National Treasury's review of the fiscal framework, particularly the refinements of the equitable share. We also welcome the proposed capacity building systems that are geared to improve administration and programs rationalizing of this capacity building grants. Next slide, please. Chair, we also welcome the measures to improve efficiency in the urban utility services through the grant reforms for water. However, we are then saying it should not only be limited to metros, but be extended to secondary cities. SALGA is concerned about the horizontal allocation to municipalities, particularly municipalities that are on the borders of the country, as they experience service delivery pressures and constraints due to this uncontrolled and illegal immigration, Chair. In terms of as we have elaborated in the last MTBPS in this committee, Chair, SALGA has finalized its study in terms of the review of the local government fiscal framework. These are some of the findings that came out of our study, that the current levels of revenue, there is an existing transfer gap, meaning there is underfunding of 150 billion rand per annum to local government. The vertical allocation of the nationally raised revenue will have to increase to a maximum of 18.8 with a minimum of 13.8, Chair. We have noted that out of the findings, municipalities are experiencing constrained expenditures of around 98 billion due to this underfunding and due to their inability to raise own revenue and build up reserves and then invest into their service delivery capex projects. Chair, we've also noted from the findings that municipalities can potentially save a billion. They can potentially save 92 billion rand through efficiency mechanism that they can implement, reducing the debt impairment that's currently being experienced by municipalities and also eliminating the fruitless and wasteful expenditures. Chair, we've also noted that there is the local government is spending on unfunded mandates, and they could be potentially save this money if government takes over or is funding local government in performing these functions, Chair. Next slide, please. In conclusion, Honorable Chair, as SALGA, we are making these recommendations. We are acknowledging that government is making efforts to attain fiscal sustainability in narrowing the debt. We also we do not welcome the net decrease of the conditional grants, as we believe that this is going to further increase the infrastructure backlogs that is currently faced by this sphere of government. We are welcoming and appreciating the introduction of the smart meter with an allocation of 2 billion, but we are then saying, since the money was reprioritized to fund this grant from all municipalities, we are then saying this grant should be expanded to all municipalities and not only those that are in the debt relief program. We are proposing that support should be provided to municipalities as this grant is rolled out. We welcome all the reforms to fast-track spending in terms of infrastructure. We also welcome the review of the equitable share formula, as this we see it as geared towards supplementing own revenues of municipalities. Chair, just the recommendations on the last slide is we are then recommending that National Treasury expedite the review of the local government fiscal framework to consider what we have found in our study, because this has been a long outstanding cry from SALGA's perspective, looking at how municipalities are struggling to deliver services as a result of underfunding of local government. We are also recommending to the standing committee to note and escalate the preliminary findings from our study in terms of how much this gap exists and how much local government should be the allocations should be increased, Chair. Thank you very much. That is from us.
Honorable Kaiso.
Yes, Honorable
Okay,
Chair,
sure.
can I check with Councillor Selina? Are you done with your team so that I go back to the members? Right. I assume that that was all that was coming from SALGA. So members, can I
Pardon
then
me,
take-
Chair. It's Councillor Mumakwe. Pardon me. Yes, we are indeed done, and thank you very much for the opportunity. Hoping that you would look into the issue of the smart meter grant, as Lerato would have emphasized that it should be rolled out to all municipalities, not only that who qualifies for the debt relief, but that is what we had for yourselves. And thank you very much for the opportunity.
Right. Thank you very much, Councillor Maumake and your team. Let me then go back to the members. Members, you have been taking note on what SALGA was presenting before us. So can I take then hands? I see the hand of Honorable Sheikh, and will be followed by Honorable Tandi Tobias so far. Is there any other hand or honorable members? So you have enough time to engage on the presentation.
Yes,
right?
yes, Chair. Note.
Okay, I'll note Honorable Buthelezi. Right, let me start with those hands. First hand, Honorable Sheikh.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chairperson, and I wish a speedy recovery to our Chair. Our prayer with you, sir. Salga, thank you very much for your presentation. I'm not going to be very long, other than to say, could you tell us what measures is Salga putting in place, given the state of local government, to deal with the serious challenges and concerns raised by many people? Number one being, and I see you talking about underfunding. I always hear the talk about underfunding, but what I don't hear is about the funding that is provided and which we're not getting value for money. It is common knowledge that corruption in local government is unbelievably high. But none of these institutions, which is COCTA, SALGA, any of them are willing to do enough to mitigate against this problem and deal with it decisively. I remember writing to the Minister of Finance, because I know you can't eradicate corruption completely. And some of the answers I got were shocking. Well, I was told that, yes, there are processes in place. It's a requirement to advertise who you gave the contracts to, who they are, whatever it is. Nothing is happening, but no consequences whatsoever. And SALGA cannot tell me, Chairperson, that they don't know about how high the levels of corruption is at local government election, how tenders are being procured by certain service providers, monies are being shared with political parties and politicians and officials. They can't tell me they don't know that. But no measures are being put in place to try and eradicate or reduce that levels of corruption. Number one. Number two, We know, and we all know, that there's a capacity problem at local government level because of cadre deployment, not by one party, all political parties, whoever govern, wherever they govern. Nothing, absolutely nothing is being done to address that either. Okay. Now, if you look at the state of some of the local governments, nothing, absolutely no pressure is being put on these people to be able to have a turnaround plan or strategy to deal with these things. The fourth thing is this: rural and local municipalities appear to be totally reliant on national government for funding, for resources, but doing very little or nothing to ensure there is rural development where you can make every local municipality into at least a semi-urban municipality, take some levels of development there, encourage and entice businesses to invest so they can become a little bit self-sufficient. No, at the moment it's handouts from national government. But if you look at the amount of money that is allocated to local government, chairperson, and if you look at the amount of money, and remember, supply chain as estimated, we lose 40% on goods and services as a result of corruption and not getting value for money. So take out 40 billion from there, 40%, take out what is cost of your administration, salaries and everything else, okay? And what have you got left to deliver services to the people on the ground? Hardly anything, only the crumbs. That is the reason why there's no delivery of services. If you cut all those looting and corruption and all those gaps that exist, there will be money to deliver services to the people. But it is not happening, and there's no plan. I don't see any plan in place to do. I want to give you one good example. And I'm going to go back to the chair. We learned this because we went to many countries. We even went to Germany on an educational tour. And we saw what BMW does in Germany. The municipality is an investor in BMW. They generate profit from BMW. That money is used to develop the areas in which this BMW is based. And we were told that they earn so much of revenue that they're even able to assist other regions. Do we ever find any of our local government moving in that? I'll give you a good example. Take Durban. Look at the major businesses we've had there. Toyota, Engine, Separate, Horses Fibers, Mondi. Look at the companies. Why can't we not, have a public-private partnership so that we'd be able to generate more income and develop those communities where we are? We're not moving in that direction. We cannot be relying on government where you can already see there's a decline in revenue, a decline. Let me go one step further again. If you look at the local governments, did you know there's hardly any foreign nationals who are conducting business in any of these local authorities, paying taxes? The illicit financial flows from South Africa leaving the country from these local authorities is shocking. Let me give you another good example of some of the reasons why we are in the state we are. Every area that I visited to in the country, every province, police commissioners are complaining about one single thing: the taverns and the shebeens, which are open 24 hours. How does it become 24 hours? These local authorities are giving them the 24-hour permit and license to operate, while the liquor boards are telling them to close at 2 o'clock. These are all the things that we expect organizations and structures like Salga and Kokta and things to come in and deal with it. As I talk to you now, I've just heard about a municipality where the contracts are being given to the highest bidder. The councillors are even complaining. I'm told bags of cash is changing hands. And the people are suffering. Take KwaZulu-Natal. Nothing has changed in the lives of the people for 30 years. Nothing. People still walk 8 kilometers for water. Shocking conditions they're living in. What is Salga going to do to address these things? And I don't want to hear that you got measures, because it's not working, whatever measures we put in place. And I know that it's difficult because of certain constraints. However, we have to be vocal. We have to come into the open and deal with these things if we want to enhance the lives of our people, on the local government level. I'm going to stop there for now, Chairperson.
All right. Thank you, Honorable Sheikh. Honorable Tobias.
Morning, Chairperson, and to our Chairperson, Soldier On. Thank you for the presentation. Let me appreciate it. Chair, pardon me if I've got a biasness towards constituencies I represent. So the first questions will relate to the two constituencies. I want to know whether in relation to two municipalities, which is the Mwate municipality and the Getwana municipality, whether in terms of the debt relief, is there a benefit to that? That's the first question. Second, I want to understand that since SALGA has realized that many municipalities, and I'm going to state Mwate in particular, has vacancies in relation to Section 56 managers. Therefore, it will hamper the implementation of the very same program that we're keen to see being implemented by SALGA. Is there a way that SALGA can second deployment of these Sections 56 managers in municipalities to be able to achieve this intended outcomes? And is there a way that there can be a specialized training that SALGA focus on for this purpose? And I also want to understand the take of councillors in relation to the debt relief program that National Treasury wants to withdraw in municipalities where there was slow expenditure. Have you requested extensions so that lack of capacity does not hamper such a noble intention to allocate money for debt relief? Chair, let me pause there. I'll come back later. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Tobias. Honorable Chair. Can you come in, please?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Let me thank Councillor Momakwe and the team for the presentation. We really appreciate it. Chair, a few questions from my side. The presentation says the local government can only cover 60% of the anticipated 90% contribution to expenditure. So this means that there's a 30% deficit because they only get about 9.7% from the nationally raised revenue. So the argument being that this is not enough. So I would like to know, what is the local government doing to try and move towards this 90%? We understand the 60%, but what is happening to try and what is local government sphere doing to try and get to this 90%? It's well and good to say we're only able to cover 60%. So as you remember very well that the reason for this was that there are many sources of revenue that local government has access to. Perhaps the most important one, we know that for local government to increase its revenues, there should be economic growth and economic activities in local government. In any case, businesses take place in local government. So I would like to know what are you doing to try and ensure that there's better economic growth at local government in different municipalities? Can we have a comprehensive strategy by SALGA and local government to try and attract investments to their cities and to their towns? That will have to talk to what you consider as barriers and bottlenecks. What do you consider to be bottlenecks in the different municipalities to attract investments? For instance, when I grew up, small towns like Dundee had a firm called Kilty, which was a sweet manufacturing factory. That factory is no longer there. They used to do Pitalane bottling, is no longer there. The question is, why did they leave, and what can we do to try and attract them back small towns, because there's always an argument that small towns are not able to attract investments. There's a lot of agriculture taking place around these places. For instance, there's a lot of mining taking place in those areas. But why aren't they investing in your area so that there can be more people who are paying? And again, there can be more factories again, where sources of your revenues, and also employment opportunities. I'll tell you, Councillor, I always get an impression that other spheres of government only look at national government to be the one who's going to do these things. And I argue that there is no place called provincial government or local government. Every place is, or national government. All places have got local government, are in a form of a local government. So if we don't do certain things, there won't be any investment to our cities and towns. So do we have a comprehensive strategy where we say, yeah, we can see if we can do this in this area, we'll be able to attract some investments. One of my arguments, for instance, I've said, how do we lobby national government, for instance, for the things that they procure and so on, to say, go and make sure that this thing is being established in a small town somewhere in the rural Free State, and you become the main supplier. We always argue here and complain that government imports a lot of things instead of manufacturing those things here in the country. So I'm just saying all those things are the building blocks towards trying to get economic activities in different towns and cities. For instance, decaying infrastructure. If you have got decaying infrastructure, no investment is going to come to your town. What are we doing about that? Can you please share with us? We have been getting a lot of reports about water shedding in many cities, including the metros at Tshwane and even Johannesburg. Can you share with this committee what is happening there? But more than that, what is local government doing to try and avoid that, what we call water shedding? We hear that the infrastructure, it's very old, it's decaying, the pipes are bursting and so on. Do we have a comprehensive strategy to try and mitigate this and make sure that the problem that we are seeing in some places doesn't become a national problem? I'm sure you understand that the electricity problems will be a picnic compared to water shedding if we get to that stage. So we need to be forward-looking. So one would like to know, is there anything that we're doing to try and mitigate that risk? But having said that, I'll challenge SALGA to come back to this committee, obviously the 7th administration, with a comprehensive strategy that looks into the prevention of water shedding, because this will be very disastrous to the economy and to our communities. I think you need to have that if you don't have yet, if you have it, well and good, please share with the committee. But if you don't have, it's one thing that we think that you will have to be, you'll have to focus in. Perhaps another thing that I think we really want to, generally want to invite you to do, again, a comprehensive strategy to deal with these things. How do we make our municipalities, local government, economically vibrant? What exactly do we do to make sure that the things that we need to do, for instance, red tape, what do you do? Things which takes forever. Rezoning, I know, takes forever. So you understand the sector very well. I think it will also help Parliament to know the strategies that you are having to try and make sure that you also jumpstart your economies, you make your economies grow at a faster rate. You also contribute to the economic reconstruction and recovery plan. It should be a well-coordinated thing. It should be a strategy which everybody buys into. If it's not there, please make sure that it's one of the things that in the next administration we'll be looking at, and would like you to to share with us. Why I'm stressing these things is that anything else that we are doing, this fiscal consolidation, reprioritization, and so on, can't be permanent features. The permanent feature in trying to solve the problems that we are facing is to make sure that the economy grows. And I think the colleagues before me have also made the point as to the rand that we have, we make sure that we stretch it. So that this talks to the effective use of our resources, which you always see the improvement of audit outcomes, which unfortunately is not coming from a local government. It is a concern on this committee, which always appropriate money in this way. You would have heard yourselves complaining about the insufficiency of money that you are getting, but would expect that all the monies that you have got access to, indirect grants, direct grants, your local is being used. But come the end of the year, money gets returned back to the fiscus. So again, are there any strategies that as SALGA you are working on to make sure that the money that is being allocated to our sector is being used, and so that people are not denied the services which they need? Comrade Chairperson, let me leave it at that, and thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Members, let me, before I give SALGA to respond, and check whether do you have follow-up questions to engage on the presentation. Honorable Sheikh, do you have any?
No, I'm fine, Chair. Thank you.
Okay. Honorable Tobias, do you have any follow-up question?
Not for now, Chair.
Okay. No, thank you very much. Didn't I skip any hand here? Let me check, because I know some members have challenged. Honorable Chair, do you have some more? One question?
No, Chair. I was just saying that Honorable Matafa is struggling to
connect.
To connect, and just to say to the honorable members, thank you for the good wishes.
Okay. Yeah. Just before I give over to SALGA to respond, I just want to check from SALGA, because this has been an ongoing question around the issue of capacity. And I remember during a number of presentations, this question had been raised as to the challenge of, capacity, in terms of local municipalities. And I don't know if you still raising this question. What have you come about as a serious challenge around the same issue that it cannot be corrected? Because one believes that when a public policy doesn't work, obviously there's something that must be reviewed in as far as that policy is concerned. If it doesn't yield good results that one expected, it means something has to change somewhere. That perhaps SALGA might have come across that this is a particular area that we are referring to when it comes to capacity building. And no, I wouldn't agree that municipalities or nothing has been done at the level of the local government for the past 30 years. I won't agree with that statement. So there are good things which have happened over the past years, 30 years, that have taken place under the watch of the local government sphere. But I agree with the SALGA to say that this is a phase of service delivery. Therefore, there must be sufficient resources that must be implemented to ensure that primary services are being delivered to our people. But what I want to check is the issue of, I agree with the chairperson around the issue of, the 60% budget that covers the entire, local municipality, our local municipalities, which SALGA says it is not sufficient. I agree. But then SALGA must also talk to the issue that is, underspending that we have come across. Whether, to what an extent does this 60% talk to that area of underspending? Because like the chairperson is saying that there would be a situation where, on the 11th hour, huge budget is being returned unspent, whereas we have challenges at the local level where issues such as, disasters that have taken place were still to be attended, but not yet attended, and therefore the budget become returned. So I don't know how does that feature in this 60%? And further, what mechanism are going to be employed by the SALGA to ensure that now beyond 60% gap is being covered widely? There must be a way. I agree with the chairperson. Now, the recommendations that you have made, they are really, really assisting moving forward. So one does not have a problem with this recommendation, more especially the issue of, reviewing the framework of the local government. It's very, very much important. I know this issue had been raised previously, but if really we want to move forward around this issue, it has to be quickly be looked at, such that now it able to intervene at very critical areas where the local government is unable to perform, and especially looking at the economies of some local municipalities. You would not expect that they will be able to, raise revenue for their, for the service delivery. On the issue, I just want to know, because the issue of economic recovery, it's a plan which is being executed by the government, and the expectation is that each and every institution of the government at least supposed to, abide by that plan and make means to ensure that their participation has an impact in as far as economic recovery. So I just want to check specifically on the economic recovery plan, to what an extent does the local government see as an impact in as far as that plan is concerned to date? Yes, it might be something that looks general, but specifically we want that area to be monitored, because it's the one that is very key in ensuring that the same challenges in as far as unemployment is concerned, and it can be addressed. But if it's not carefully monitored, it might be the area which we won't be able to see any growth in as far as employment or job opportunities are growing. So we all this supposed to be monitored within that framework as well at the local of the, SALGA as well, participating and ensuring that our local municipalities also participate in a way, because I know some municipalities in some province or localities have to some extent threatened to disinvest because of collapse of infrastructure, etc., etc. So I don't know how does SALGA talks to that area. Have you tried to come in between the such threats, the behavior of business at some stage, it can take a sour turn. So yeah, I think let me pause at that stage and give over to Salga to take us through to respond on those questions raised by members. Over to you, Ms. Selina. Councillor Maumake.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I will allow Lerato to answer on the issues that would have raised, noting the fact that, yes, we indeed, as local government, we do need capacity in terms of the issues that were raised by our Honorable Ahmed. And also looking at the issues of red tapes that we are experiencing. Indeed, we do need assistance on those particular matters, but Honorable Buthelezi would have indicated to Salga that they need a comprehensive report on the strategies that are going to assist in terms of the watersheding and also those red tapes. So allow me to ask Lerato to answer on other questions that the committee would have raised. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Chair, I'll take some of the comments, firstly, just to appreciate the comments that have been made by Honorable Buthelezi. On what we will do is we will therefore submit this comprehensive strategy on how municipalities can deal with watershedding. And also, there's been a number of questions and comments with regard to how municipalities can play their role in the economic recovery of the country, Chair. I think we will also include the written responses in terms of the how do we assist in making the economy at a local level be revitalized and become viable, as it contributes to also how municipalities can generate their revenues. Chair, maybe let me just come into what Salga is currently doing. We've got, firstly, in terms of the capacity building, Salga has various programs, both that are geared towards councillors and officials of municipalities. What we have augmented at that capacity building in this coming financial year, Chair, is we've included professionalization as part of the program, as we see the need for the sector, for the sphere of government to start professionalizing and equipping officials within municipalities to be able to do perform their function, their roles and responsibility optimally. So these various programs, Chair, it ranges from project preparations to enable officials within municipalities in terms of how they can spend on their grants and how they can prepare for projects and be able to also be able to come up with bankable projects that are geared to also revitalize and contribute towards economic revitalization, Chair. I think one of the key messages that we need to outline out there in terms of these issues, Chair, especially coming to the expenditures of municipalities, is there are external factors also that are contributing to the spending, as we have seen in terms of a community halting the projects, construction mafias, Chair, which sometimes have come into made it difficult for municipalities to implement projects and therefore spend on their grants. Chair, in terms of rural communities, I think we will put this aspect that Honorable Chair has raised on how can a local government assist, SALGA assist rural municipalities in terms of growing their local economies and making sure that they're no longer reliant on the grants from the fiscus. We will include it in that comprehensive economic revitalization strategy that the honorable member has outlined. Chair, I will then also speak to the issue of debt relief. At SALGA, we've been at the forefront of advocating for municipalities who wanted to form part of the debt relief, and we have assisted those municipalities, Chair. What we have realized together with National Treasury is in terms of attaining and meeting the conditions of their applications, Chair, there are structural issues and systematic issues that are emerging as we do the analysis and trying to assist municipalities to meet these conditions. And Chair, in the last meeting that we've had with the MDRC, which is a meeting between ourselves, COGTA, and National Treasury, we have then proposed what would be the best support mechanisms to assist these municipalities, because what we have observed is some of the municipalities were unable to pay their ESCOM current account because they are not receiving those they're not receiving monies from their own consumers, not as a result of them not implementing credit control, but in terms of the provision of services and distribution losses that are very high in those particular municipalities. So I think, Honorable Member Thandi, we will then take this issue of the secondment to our principals in terms of allocating and seconding officials in that municipality, and then we'll revert back to the committee in terms of that. Honorable Thandi, I think there is a benefit to a certain degree for those when municipalities are supported to be able to meet the conditions. What we have observed is some of the municipalities are currently implementing intensive revenue enhancement campaigns. As a result of this, some of the municipalities have started looking into the number of the valuation role that is needed to be reconciled to know how many of their households are being valued and are reconciling to the billing system. And they're also looking into other financial reforms that were previously have not been given the desired, were not given the attention that it is needed. The only challenge currently, Honorable Member, is the ability for municipalities to meet their current account of ESCOM, and also maintaining the payment rates of above 80%. As I've said, that the challenges are both internal and external, and we are working together as these stakeholders to ensure that what has been intended in terms of this debt relief, because municipalities are showing their commitment in terms of meeting these conditions. We have also advocated for municipalities when the intentions to remove municipalities that are not complying from the program, and they were given a chance to go and remedy and improve on those areas that had been identified where they were not complying. We at SALGA, we have committed ourselves to also assist these municipalities to look into alternative mechanisms in terms of Section 78 assessments and options that municipalities have when they realize that they are unable to make provisions of services, particularly basic services. So we are assisting them and advising them to make the right decisions for themselves in terms of this issue. Honorable Chair, in terms of what are we doing in terms of assisting municipalities, we've got a multi-sectoral programs within SALGA. That program, it includes municipal finance, where we assist municipalities with coming up with preventative measures, particularly in the areas of fruitless and wasteful expenditures, in the areas where the honorable member has said of how municipalities can prevent fraud and corruption within their finance department. We've got our digital team that is also assisting municipalities with their data maturity, and which also within the tools of those digital maturity tools, it looks into how municipalities can verify they are indigent and have the correct beneficiaries of indigents within their registers. The other is assisting municipalities to determine which staff is doing business with its own, doing business with the municipalities. So we have been assisting municipalities with that to determine that. And we've also have governance training that we do to assist our MPAC committees. We're also with the financial disciplinary boards, capacitating them to be able to function and be able to do their roles and their responsibilities, Chair, to the maximum, so that we no longer see we reduce the challenges that are currently being experienced, particularly where these committees are supposed to be doing their role. Chair, in terms of permits and licenses, we'll have to provide a written response in terms of that aspect. But nonetheless, we as SALGA are committed, and through these multidisciplinary programs that we have seen some of the value that we have been provided in municipalities. And we also come in terms of that multidisciplinary program, provide advisory role in terms of legal issues that municipalities have within their councils. Chair, those are some of the programs that we have in place that we are assisting municipalities. I think fundamentally is to assist municipalities to prevent these challenges from happening and reduce the challenges as we have. What we also do is we partner with COGTA and National Treasury, where there has been support, there has been programs. We just play the facilitating role to ensure that those municipalities get the support as they have been pledged by those relevant departments, Chair. I think I can leave it there. If there is anything that I'm leaving out, the Chair will let me know. Thank you.
Councillor Mumake, are your responses done?
Thank you very much, Chair. Yes, indeed, our responses are done, and we have noted what we need to do together with SALGA, and it will be sent to the next meeting. Thank you very much.
Okay, I see the hand of Honorable Tobias.
Yes, Chair, allow me to just make a small follow-up, and it's actually a plea from the side of SALGA that in those meetings between municipalities and National Treasury, where they are assessing the ability of municipalities to utilize the grant, is it possible that they can sit? I know it's a very difficult thing, but is it possible that they can send officials that can sit with those municipalities and help them to implement, and also involve the political heads in this instance? I'm referring to mayors, so that they can know at what pace is municipalities able to implement, and also ensure that even if they cannot meet the deadline by National Treasury, there's some form of extension, especially in this coming fiscal year, to allow municipalities to self-correct in relation to matters relating to ESCOM. It's a plea, Chair, if it's acceptable by Salga. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Tobias. I don't know, Salga, perhaps what would be your take on this matter, on this plea? Hopefully you'll be able to look into this on Pasha.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. We are definitely, what we have done is, after the engagements that we've had for those municipalities, the 10 municipalities that were issued with the intention to be removed, we have pledged ourselves that we will play a more hand-holding role. We are scheduled to have a meeting with those affected municipalities together with all the ones that are approved, because the challenge that we've been having, Honorable Thandi, is National Treasury was not forthcoming with information in terms of the compliance status of those who applied. We only learned of the performance of the 10 that were submitted to us. Even they were submitted, some of them were submitted a week before. And we tried by all means to ensure that we assist municipalities to make representations for themselves, of which they were accepted. But moving forward, we then said we will play a more hand-holding. It is our commitment from our side to assist these municipalities, because we believe that it will bring benefits to these municipalities, but also advocate for those municipalities that even if they do their internal measures, chances are they will not be able to meet some of the conditions. And we are doing those assessments so that we can make a plea to National Treasury to say, even if they implement credit control to the maximum, there will still be challenges in municipalities, in these municipalities. And what we are comforted with is National Treasury has also identified the 13 municipalities that they have also observed that it needs other interventions and support, as they realize that even if they implement any mechanisms, they will not be able to meet their obligations to ESCOM. But we do have that commitment. It is part of our program to assist municipalities in various ways, and one of them is marketing their revenue enhancement campaigns and helping them draft those campaigns. And also our trading services colleagues have said that they will assist municipalities to look into the Section 78 assessment or alternative service delivery provisions, Chair. And also there is training to internal staff in terms of doing valuation roles against their billing, to ensure that everybody within their jurisdiction is billed and is valued. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pasha. Honorable members, I think this brings us to the end of our discussion on presentation by Salga. So we'll be going to item number 5, but let me check. Chair, do you have a last comment as we depart with Salga?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much, Honorable Chair of the session, Councillor Maumakwe and your team and SALCA as this committee, Standing Committee on Appropriation. We're just thanking SALCA for having interacted with us on all the, I think about 30 bills that came from this committee in the past 5 years. And in all those bills, SALCA was always there to try and make us understand better the implication of the bills to the local government. We know that we might not have achieved everything that everything that was raised by your good selves, but there's no doubt that they have enriched the process. So we on Councillor Maumakwe and your team, please convey our appreciation and gratitude as this committee, and we wish you well. All of us here on the platform, we stay in one municipality or the other. So it's to our interest, individually and collectively, that we see this level of government working and being able to serve our people. As this committee, we really want to, throughout, support you and engage you in ensuring that our people receive what they are supposed to receive. All of the best, and thank you very much. And thanking again the honored members on the platform for having engaged you. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, with those closing remarks. And thank you very much, delegation of SALCA. We shall meet again. And thank you very much. You are now released. Honorable members can stay put. We will proceed with as they exit, item number 5 on the agenda, which is a consideration and adoption of minutes. Are you ready, Darren? Minutes of the 14th of February. They were circulated to members. Can I check?
I move for the adoption. Move for the adoption of the minutes of 14th of February, Chair.
Honorable Buthelezi moves for adoption. Can I get the seconder of the minutes, 14 February?
Matafa seconds, Chair.
Honorable Matafa seconds the minutes. Then let's go to minutes of the 27th of February, which were also circulated. Can I get the mover and the seconder?
I move, Chair.
Matafa move.
Honorable Tobias moves. Honorable Matafa seconds. I mean, Honorable
Yes, Chair.
Tobias moves. Honorable Matafa seconds. The minutes
Yes,
of the
Chair.
27th. Right. The next set of the minutes is the 5th of March, 2024. Can I get the mover and seconder?
I move, Chair.
Honorable Buthelezi moves. Can I get a seconder?
Matafa.
Honorable Matafa seconds the minutes of the 5th March 2024. The next set of the
Chair.
minutes is the minutes of the, sorry?
Yes, Chair, sorry for interruption. Before we get to this next set of minutes, I just wanted to put it across to the Chair that last week we received an apology from Honorable Kwankwa for this meeting after the meeting had adjourned. So I think it has to be considered as maybe as an amendment to the minutes for today.
Okay. On the minutes of the 5th of March.
The 6th, the ones that we are going to adopt now.
No, I was still on the, completing on the 5th. I'm coming to the 6th.
Yes, before that one, I wanted to clarify.
All right.
That. Yes, thank you, Sir Chair.
All right. So, are we done with the 5th of March? Mr. Magwan?
Yes, we are done, sir. We are now on the last.
Now. Yeah, all right.
Yes.
Honorable members, can we then adopt the minutes of the 6th of March, 2024? Can I get the mover and the seconder?
I move, Chair, with the amendment.
Honorable Telesi move the minutes with the amendment.
Which in
On
the amendment being the apology of Honorable Nkwankwa. Thank you.
Yes. Can I get a seconder on the moved motion? Can I get a seconder, honorable members?
I second, Chair.
Okay. Honorable Tobias seconds the minutes of the 6th March 2024. Can I check, are there any announcements?
Yes, Chair, we do have an announcement. We received an apology again from Ms. Honorable Kwankwa after the meeting had started. And then the next one is that we are meeting tomorrow for public hearings with the stakeholders that have responded to come and comment on the 2024 Division of Revenue Bill and the second adjustment appropriation bill. At 9 o'clock, the link will be sent to members in due course.
Okay. Honorable members, those are the amendments. Let us therefore meet tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in the same venue. The link will be sent to all of us. And let me thank you very much for attendance of this meeting. It has been a success, and the meeting is adjourned. Let's meet tomorrow morning.
Long live the whip.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Long live.
Welcome, honorable members.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Chair.